Any sort of update on Jabari? It looked like he was down on the ground at the end of the game there.
Yeah, he sprained his ankle and obviously had to shoot the free throws, and luckily they called timeout to get him out, but don't know the severity. And obviously with the back-to-back it's going to be tough, but I didn't see how bad he rolled it and haven't heard.
Both of the rookies, had significant playing time and made significant plays down the stretch. Just what did you think of their contributions?
It was great. I said it to the team in there. Congrats to the bench. They really came in with energy and affected the game in a positive way. And so, to your point, not just them. Aaron came in early in the first half, really had a good stint there. Jeff was good, and then Jay Sean as well. But yes, they had plays that stood out. Obviously, Cam was attacking the basket, and both of them were defending, especially our men at a high level.
You trusted the men a lot defensively in certain spots. I mean, just how important is it for him to keep coming through in those moments for this team?
Yeah, it's kind of who he is. It's not on the NBA level, but he's been a lockdown guy his whole life, and obviously has just the experience part. I think with different matchups and different guys, and but the more he plays, the better he'll get. And so that's one thing that we're confident translated to the NBA right away was his defensive effort, intensity, versatility, and all that. And so it was good to see him do that tonight and guard multiple different guys: Sexton, Clarkston, and some Markkanen.
Fred has been so vital in close games for you. To be able to win a game like this when he's not in there, how important is that moving forward?
Yeah, it was good. It was, get a chance to do some different things, see what else works besides him handling and initiating a lot of pick and rolls in the games. Went to Alperen quite a bit, and then went to another play that worked quite well, and so Jabari got a few shots out of that, and so it was good. Other guys got to step up. Jalen came in and kind of ran the point with that unit, and it was good to get the win. Good to get overtime win. We've lost 3 this year.
How valuable was it, particularly for your rookies, to learn to kind of win ugly?
Yeah, it's always good. I'd said those ones are satisfying, no doubt. Not just the overtime part, but how we gutted it out. Played really well the first half. The third quarter, obviously a 38-point quarter. Got a tie game that was a little bit ugly there, and then battled back and forth. So a lot of guys got a chance to experience, real tough basketball game, and to your point, grinded it out without some key guys being out there. So it was good for them.
Did you see the defensive adjustments that you wanted to see that you kind of were talking about yesterday after practice?
It was some, and then it was some mistakes. They're a team, they're number one off-ball action team in the league, and for the most part in the first half we were great, second half we weren't, and so they got those slips to the basket, and so Dylan not being here for the shoot around and stuff, I think that affected him a little bit, some of the things we walked over and talked about, but I think we mixed it up late in the game, the overtime, the play to go into overtime. We switched with Alpie there and hit late, and so our rotations were on point behind it, and it's good to see that carry over.
Are you starting to see some of the things you want to see from Cam early in the season, and is that going to lead to more minutes, especially like in close games like tonight?
Yeah, I think he's been that since he's been back. He was forced into it due to some injuries, and so he got his opportunity. He's been good as far as that. And never was concerned about him offensively. More so shot selection was the main thing, but the defensive side has been better. Even tonight, though, there's still errors. It's not just him. It's guys across the board. But with Clarkson specifically going under a few times, and we want to chase him over the top every time. And so things he'll have to learn about personnel that have been around he hasn't faced. But, he's been great in his opportunities. And Tari out, Dylan out, and then Fred and some guys tonight. I think he stepped up and did a great job on both ends.
Before the game, Will Hardy was actually talking about your season in Boston and, the poor start that you guys had there, and that he learned from that really to remain calm even in the face of slow starts and that things can turn around. Is that something, a lesson that you can apply even here too, even though it's different teams and different circumstances?
Yeah, there's some. I think the difference was, there was a lot of COVID, a lot of injuries. Jaylen Brown, the guys were out for 15 games or so. So when we did have our full roster, we were really good. But I remember at times they know me well, the whole staff, my guys here and Will, and they would look at me waiting for the real Ime to come out and come and flipping tables and doing all that. And I said, let's be patient and we'll figure it out because it's some good signs when we're whole. And so, it was not time to panic. And I think with our guys, we really got off to a really good start and grasped everything we were trying to do. And so we've had some regression with the lack of practices and injuries, but big picture, we picked it up pretty quickly. So we're happy with that. Just got to take the next step now.
Why did you decide to go back to Jalen when Fred went out? And did you see anything that he can maybe build on for tomorrow in the games that follow?
Yeah, obviously one of our better scorers at the guard spot. Aaron had his stint there, but it's a guy that you want to trust, especially when it's time to, get downhill, get into some shots there, and then he ran the point. We run him quite a bit in practice through scripting sessions where he's handling at the point, and that came in handy tonight. You know, when McCam was doing well at the 2, and Jabari at the 3 and 4, and Dylan, those guys. So it was a natural thought for us to go there, and then we just did the sub offense defense with him and Amen down the stretch.
Did you see things during that stretch that he can build on?
Yeah, he initiated offense well, got us into our sets that we were running. The first play that we ran about 3 times into the overtime, he got us into that, made the right reads there. Only had the 3-point shot, so he didn't get a ton of looks out of it. But, yeah, that's one thing. And then, obviously, being in the end of the game, you have to guard. And he had tough matchups there with Clarkson and Sexton, and did solid. I mean, they were a handful for everybody tonight.
Coach, sorry. The group to end overtime, the Thompson, Brooks, Tate, Green, just to have that toolbox available, how important is that for a different game, down stretch overtime, late in fourth quarters?
Yeah, I think we've always had decent groups as far as versatility-wise. You know, with Tari and those guys in the mix, we can go several different ways. We can go extra big, and we had Alpy out a few possessions so we could switch across the board. And so, yeah, it's good for them experience-wise, but we know what we have as far as guys. It's just we don't have the full unit out there, and we haven't had it for a while with Dylan and Tari out, but Cam has stepped up. Aaron steps in when he needs to, and Amen has been great too. So it's good to see a full complement of guys taking advantage of the opportunity.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.